Now the next we are going to talk about is the natural observational method. Okay, in natural observational method, no control are exercised and human behavior is studied in the natural environment. So here you do not get involved with people. You understand the behavior of a person in the natural environment. Sometimes you will not even realize that your behavior is being studied. Therefore, this method is called as uncontrolled observational method. So this method is called as uncontrolled observational method. In this, observation takes place of whatever situation the person or a group incident has taken place. So over here I observe the incident as it is happening. I observe the phenomena as it is happening. Okay, and I try to understand the situation as it is happening naturally and how people are reacting to it. The information derived by this type of method is descriptive in nature. Descriptive like how you write an essay. It's very descriptive. Okay, first thing this happened, second thing this happened, third, fourth, fifth. It's very descriptive. It describes things. Here the observer, without taking help of any tool, observes human, animal or group behavior with reference to specific incident. So over here, without using any kind of tools, okay, without taking help of any kind of tools, the person observes the behavior of animal, human beings or any type of behavior as it is happening, as the incident is happening. For example, a study on villagers whose village has been attacked by terrorists. So I try to study the village which is being affected by the terrorist, who is being attacked by the terrorist. So I'll go to the village, stay in a village, and maybe they won't even know that I've come here to study the village. I'll tell them that, I've come here to work, I'm working somewhere close by, so I want a house. So I'll come in a village, I'll stay in a village, I'll talk to people around, make friends with them, and they won't even come to know that I'm observing them. Okay. Second, a study of students' behavior in their classroom between two bells. Okay, between the first lecture and second lecture, how they are behaving. Okay, so you study the behavior of the students. Okay, advantages and limitations. Limitations mean disadvantages. Advantages. Specifically rare experience that occur in natural environments such as a phenomena can directly be observed and studied. So certain natural environment, certain natural phenomena, you can study it as it is happening. For example, right now floods are happening. It's a natural phenomena which is happening in the environment. So I'll go there and I will observe the life of the people as the floods are happening. Okay. Through the study method, various aspects of phenomena can be studied. So various different parts of the phenomena I can study it. Next is limitations. Okay. First, certain rare occurrences that take place in natural environment are never repeated, due to which they cannot be studied. So they are saying that there are certain natural phenomena, there are certain natural incidents that happen which will not get repeated again. It has happened once, it will not happen again. Then in order to study that, you cannot use natural observational method. If you miss it, it's gone. Second, at the time of observational method, the individual or a group, when they know that they are being observed, they can lead to artificially to their behavior. So what they are trying to tell us is that, let's say somebody comes to know that you are observing them, then they will show the artificial behavior. They will not show their natural behavior. It can be an individual or a group. Third, in the observational method, without being aware, the observer can be subjective. For example, if there are 2 or 3 incidents occurring at the same time, then he is able to pay attention to only one incident, and this type of choice can be attributed to subjective, of which he is unaware about. So let's say that there are 2 or 3 incidents happening at the same time, and the person who is being observed pays attention or pays focus on only one type of incident, then the observation becomes very subjective. Subjective meaning it becomes very limited, because the person is paying attention to only one type of incident and is not able to pay attention to other 2 incidents that are happening at the same time. So he might not be doing this knowingly. He might not be aware about it. He might be doing it unknowingly, but it does affect the observation of a person, right? So whenever you are observing, if 2 or 3 phenomena is happening at the same time, the person will the person will focus only on one incident, and because of that, the whole thing becomes very subjective. Subjective meaning it becomes very limited. Okay, and that is why you cannot totally depend upon natural observation.